in our final project presentation, and our final project is work on the crime dataset, and my partner Wang and I am JiaCheng Ding. So let's begin. The first part is about the dataset and how we collected our dataset. This dataset is a very standard dataset, but there is some nuance because some information is coincidence. If you located the dataset by the map information, you can reduce the number of columns of the dataset, and the data column of data time is already a very specific column, which also includes the following data types. The first is incident number. The number is given for each case. This is a unique ID for each case, just like the student ID. The second is offense code, the code for each case. Corresponding to the offense code, there is a constructs relationship between the two, and the offense code group, name of each code. And the offense description is a description of each case, which is a separate statement about each case, and the area where the case occurred, and the reporting area. Also, the occurred on data. The data this case occurred. This is the data type of data time. Very standard, and the following year months data time bar are actually written according to this column. The year, the month, the day of week, and the hours, it's all written by the first occurred on data. The data, they are all data types, and the OCR part. This is a location information. Each partition is made by different division criteria street. This information should be based on the report information and the latitude. The data column should be based on the real-time location information after the police arrive, belonging to the map information, and the lawn and the location is all be based by the latitude. We can have maybe the police can collect this information from the records of when they received the 911 call, and they come to the place where the crime happens, and they can find it. So let's take the second part, facts and granularity. Facts should be, as the PowerPoint said, that facts should be the case description, and for the location dimension is defined the exact location where the case happened, and for the data dimension it's defined the exact time when the case happened. The facts need satisfy two conditions. The first is their numerical, and the second is their Unicode. So in our case, we choose the offense code as our fact. So let's talk about the ERD. The ERD is entity relationship diagram. A shorthand ER diagram refers to the basic structure of data in terms of three basic conceptions of entity: relationship and attribute. Though describing the conceptual model of static data structure in the database is an indispensable part of the software system. If we can make good use of ER diagram in database engineering, we can generate high quality database design for database creation, management, and maintenance, as well as communication between persons, provide a meaningful basis. And let's take a look of the ERD. And in our case, we have totally like 14 table, and there are three important tables like offense code, and second is location geometry, and the third is occurred on data, and this can decide what the crime is and where is the crime and when the crime happened, and let my partner to explain the further information about it.
Okay, thanks for my teammate's presentation, and let's continue. Though we have three dimensions: the location, the offense code, and the data dimensions. So let's first look at our case description dimensions, which is offense code. So in this dimensions we have offense code and offense code group and offense descriptions. Like I said, through offense descriptions have even in same type they have different description, but if we look inside into it, we can find the description word are similarly. So we can use offense code to determine the crime type and find the descriptions, and for the location dimensions we can find their exact latitude and longitude in the location column. So we can use Excel to see after the site. Like we can see in our location column we have exact location, so which means we can exactly locate our crime scene like distract, and for the reporting area we assume that if someone were to the crime and call the place, he or she must beside the crime scene, right? So there's no problem for the latitude and longitude in our location dimensions. And for the data dimensions, our key is occurred on data. We can use the data side to see that this column have an exact year, month, day, hour in it, so there's no problem. We can include the hour, month, year, and day of week into it. For the day of week, we can just use the exact year, month, day to determine which day it was, like Monday or Tuesday. Okay, let's go to the next slide, which is our star schema. Like I mentioned before, we have three dimensions: location, case description, and data. So the foreigner key for the case description dimensions should be offense code, because we can use code to determine the type. That is our offense code group, and to determine the offense description, even some of it are different in same type, but mostly are same. For the location dimensions, the most important or the foreigner key should be location column, which has exact longitude and latitude. It can help us determine where the case exact happened, like the district, street, reporting area. And for the data dimensions, we can easily find the foreigner key should be occurred on data, because it has exact year, month, hour, day into it, so it should be a foreigner key to the data dimensions. And here comes the question about the type. In my opinion, I think the type should be cascade, because let's give an example for this. If we delete it like in the data dimensions, we delete the data which is in here, occurred data. If we delete it, so we don't have year, we don't have months, we don't have day of weeks, we don't have hours, so which means the type is cascade, because if we deleted the main table, so the sum table will also delete it. That is the definition of the cascade. Let's go to our questions. Our questions is something about if a business company want to help the placement in the current data site, what question will they take and what problem will be solved. So I will give these questions. The first is, when is the data of the certain case or certain crime? To find the certain data for the crime is very important because it helps the placement to determine some important information. So our query is select incident number, occurred on data, year, month, day of work, hour from crime, where incident number equal to what you want. Like you can just select the incident, select the crime which you are interested in, and enter the number that is right query in here. Or we can just delete the year, month, day of work, and hour in our query because we have all this information in our occurred on date. So our second question is, which type should fit the case? Or what the type is the case? What is the case type? So it's also important. Like in our data set, we have a lot of type like investigation person, auto-saved, taught, aggregate, assault. That kind a lot of types, so it's important to determine what kind of type it is. So our query should be select incident number of the code of the code group from crime and oh, I still forgot something. That is the description from crime, where is the number equal to, you can select the interesting crime you are depend on yourself. That is. So our third question is, where is the case happened? That is the location of our case, so we just select distract reporting area, this street, lat, long from crime, where incident number equal to, that is the same as the first and second. You can select the crime which you are interested in. So our first case is first question is, how many cases happen in a certain time interval. So first, let's look at our query. That is select occur date from crime, where crime dot occur on date between a date to another date and another date. That means like if we pick the 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., which means we can get all the crime in the 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. But here I will give another information about that. We can just use group by functions to group by distract. So we can find exact number of crime happened in each distract, like in each distract here, and from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. That is another good questions, you know. Or we can also add a function like where distract equal to C11, so we can got all the crime happened in 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. in distract C11. Oh, I'm sorry. So our fifth question is, do we have more crime in the Sunday and Saturday? Everybody knows most of us don't have to work on a Sunday or Saturday, so it happens that we could be like to have a vacation. So will it be more crime on the Sunday or Saturday? That is a good question. So our query is select day of week from crime, where crime day of week equal to Sunday and equal to Saturday. That is the number of crime which happened in the Sunday and Saturday. And here is our final project presentation. I'm D1 and my teammate is JiaCheng Ding. And thank you for the professor, and thank you a lot. It is end.